What's going on, YouTube? This is YB back at it again, and let's talk about 14 ways to build wealth without talking about it. Now, I've done a lot of these different ways to build wealth, and the biggest thing is building wealth in silence. Why is that? Well, watch this video.
The race to riches isn't won by speed, but by silence. While others chase, you calculate. Money flows not to the loudest, but to the one who changed the game.
That we finished watching that video, why you want to build wealth in silence, let's talk about some of the ways. The first way is debt management. Now, how are you doing with your student loan? How about credit card? Carrying high interest debt is likely stretching your funds. So, getting rid of debt is a serious way to build wealth.
Counting like a seesaw. Debits and credits balance every transaction. A debit increases assets, like cash or equipment, and decreases liabilities or equity. Credits do the opposite. They increase liabilities, like loans, and decrease assets.
You can't get returns year over year as much as interest rate is charging you. Your credit card interest rate is 23%. There's not many stock market gurus that get 23% year over year. And here's the chart of how much people get year over year investing. Now, the average return is about 10 to 14% if you include inflation. So if you take that in factor, you're paying 10% the money you are investing every year to the bank whenever you don't pay off the debt and you invest it instead. Now, number 2 is start a side hustle. If you want to build wealth and you have a valuable skill like copywriting, coding, designing, photograph, or even selling vintage clothing because you know it very well and you can get a cheap deal on it, those are great side hustles that aren't just for extra money. I have a side hustle that brings in about $50,000, $60,000 a year, and that's because I have a skill. And what do? I sell on eBay. How do I get the items? Well, I am looking at an auction right now, trying to find items to buy because I can fix things. That is my skill. I can refurbish boards and everything else like that, and I can test them and I can resell them for premium dollars. So if you have a skill, start a side hustle, sell on eBay, Etsy, one of these websites, and you'll be just fine. Now, number 3, small investments. Now, here's some investment ideas to explore. High yield savings account, micro investing like Acorn, Robinhood. Now, here's the thing. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars to start investing. Start investing now and continue to invest in the market. And that's the tried and true, just like what Warren Buffett says. Listen to what Warren Buffett says in this video.
I've told students if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich.
Number 4, living below your means. Now, while rewarding yourself is a good thing, time to time is not a good, but it's also not necessary. Now, let's say you have a credit card that's $10,000. You pay it off and you go out to eat or you take a vacation. That's a perfect time to get a reward. You get a promotion, go out to eat with your family. That's a great time. You picking up your dog or you picking up your kids, that's not a celebration, that's responsibility. So make sure you juggle it. Now, number 5, automate your savings. Now, this might sound redundant, but when you don't have to press transfer, when you don't have to think about your savings and your investment or your retirement, life is easier. So take that time, sit down, 5 or 10 minutes, go on your Fidelity app, your investment app, your 401k, and just automatically put 10%, 20%, whatever you think you can afford, and live off the extra money. If you invest first and then live off the rest, you will be fine. And here's the numbers. Let's say you make $60,000 a year at the age of 30 and you invest 10% for until retirement. Look on the screen. This is how much money you'll have. That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, let's talk about number 6. Investing in index funds instead of stocks. Another type of investment you can look at is good old index funds. Now, why do I not say mutual fund? Even though Dave Ramsey says mutual funds. And here's the chart of the cost difference. And I know Dave Ramsey says he can get great returns and everything like that. Yes, you can. But in my eyes, I think index funds are better just because it has lower fees and it gets about the same return. Now, mutual funds and everything else like that, if you want to invest it, it's okay. But index outperform most active management funds. So, and it costs way less in fees. So that's why I recommend it. So, number 7. Look at everything like a long term. Do you ever view, oh man, I don't have money today. I don't know what to do. Well, let's start thinking of like, okay, I know I don't have money today, but what can I do in the long term to fix it? What are the practical things you can delay? Maybe not go out to Starbucks, spend $200 a week. Maybe don't buy that brand new car that you're paying $800 a month so that you can have instant gratification for driving a new car. A $10,000 car, $15,000 car is just fine. You don't need a $30,000 or $50,000 car if you cannot afford it or pay it off in cash. Like I bought a minivan. Well, I went to the dealer and paid it in cash and they were shocked. They're like, not many people come in to pay a $58,000 minivan in cash. Hey, now I didn't bring the cash to the dealership, but I transferred the funds to them. Number 8, learning continuously about finance. This is the one thing I don't like about America is they don't teach you about finance. They don't teach you about anything about building wealth. Well, watching my video, you're ahead of the curve because you're trying to improve yourself. So continuously learn about finance. Finance always changes. Fees changes on index funds. Fee changes on mutual funds. Different avenues to invest. There's Bitcoin. There's real estate. Always continues to learn what is best for you. No one's journey is the same. That's what you have to understand. My journey was not the same as my friend's journey and my uncle's and aunt's journey. Everyone have different responsibility. So always learn what's best for you to match your financial goals. Number 9, and here's a really big one, is protecting your credit score. Yes, I know Dave Ramsey in this video says about credit. Overall, I'm going to tell you, credit is important. It gets you the cheaper interest rate. It gets you better rates on everything overall. And even applying to some jobs, you have to have good credit. You want to work for the government and get top secret clearance, you have to have good credit because they don't want you to be at risk of selling government secret. I have a top secret clearance and I know what you have to go through. So protecting your credit score is very important for job, for applying for loans or credit card interest rate. It's important. Now, some people don't care about it. Like Dave Ramsey said, oh, you can go the old-fashioned way and get a mortgage. But if you're a government employee and you have to keep your top secret clearance, you have to have good credit score, and or you can't get the job, or you lose your job, or you lose your top secret clearance. Number 10, owning instead of leasing. Here's the thing. Do not lease tools. Do not lease cars. Do not lease a house. You can rent a house if you don't think you're going to live there more than 5 years in the area. But if you're going to live somewhere more than 5 years, you need to look at buying a house so you can get the money back by on your property. What do I mean by that? Okay, it's cheaper to rent than buying a house in some places. I agree with that. But here's the thing. You're paying someone's money. You're paying their mortgage. And they get the benefit of having that asset. The whole point is to have the asset. It's hard to say this, but if you have a car and you lease it, you can't sell it tomorrow and get the money if it's paid off. It's leased. Guess what? The dealership gets the money. Same thing with the house. You live in the house for 10 years, 15 years, and you've been paying down the person's mortgage. And they sell that house from under you to someone else, and now you have a new landlord, and he's an ass or she's an ass. And guess what? You just spent all that money making that dude richer. And don't do that. Number 11 is you need to combat lifestyle creep. If you don't know what lifestyle creep is, here's a video. Now,
lifestyle creep is a real thing. Nothing wrong with you having a growing life as you've had more success, but do it like all things in moderation, because what you don't want to do is start having those mental gymnastics that you do is that, hey, I got a pay raise. You know what? I could afford that car. And then I could afford that bigger house. You do this and then you fast forward 6 years and you never increase your savings. You never increase your investments, but yet your need and demands for your money has actually grown.
That you know what lifestyle creep is? It's not good. I've seen people get a new job making 20, 30% more, and they increase their spending by 20 or 30% more. Why? You're just going for instant gratification. The biggest thing is long term, being financially free. Once you're financially free, no one can really tell you what to do besides the government. So relax. Save your money, invest it for your future. It's the big thing about it. Number 12 is create a multiple stream of incomes. Like me, I have YouTube. It doesn't pay me much, but hey, it's a stream of income. I have royalties from my books. I have my side hustle on eBay. I have my rental income. I built multiple stream of income so that I don't have to work. Do I work? Yes, because I enjoy working and I actually like what I do. But at the end of the day, you need to create multiple stream of income. Tomorrow, they can lay you off. And if you don't have that multiple stream of income, you're one paycheck, two paycheck from being bankrupt. And the banks knows whenever you get laid off because they see the money coming in. They bank know you're at risk and they will call your house on you or foreclose on you, and then you lose the asset you built up on your house, and you don't want that. Or you get kicked out of your rental place and you're living on the street, and once you're living on the street, it's really hard to get back into a house or into an apartment because they want rental history, they want to see why you got kicked out, they want to see where you're employed, and where's that job offer? Where are they going to send those checks to or deposit to or information to? You can't really put, I live on the street. It doesn't make sense. So understand this, that create multiple stream of income will help you from going bankrupt and help you in bad situations. Number 13 is when you invest, let the compound interest work quietly for you. Yes, compound interest works for you if you have a lot of money. If you have no money, guess what? It doesn't really work for you that well. The hardest part to get to it is getting to that 10,000, the 100,000, the 200,000. And then once you hit those marks, the money starts rolling because 10% of 10,000 is $100. 10% of 100,000 is $1,000 a year. So those are the numbers. Now, is my math right? I don't know. Let's do the math on the screen to make sure. And number 14 is whenever you start this journey of financial freedom, FIRE movement, or whatever movement you want, you just want to pay off all your bills and have a little extra money, staying consistent is a big thing. Consistently doing what's right, not letting your lifestyle creep go up, not letting life get you, not letting those emergency coming up that you can't afford. Have a good game plan. If you stay consistent with the emergency fund, stay consistent investing, you'll be fine. That's all I got for you. Like and subscribe to my video and stay tuned for another one.